Hi there. What do you think? What more can we learn about Scratch from that simple animation we just watched? Like, how can we quickly search for a backdrop? Or how can we edit or delete our code blocks from the screen? Do you know how to do that? In our deep dive video, we're gonna learn a bunch more and get way more familiar with the Scratch environment. Let's get started. First, open your browser and type Scratch's website address into the address bar. Click on the Create menu to start a new Scratch project. Let's get rid of any extra stuff on the screen. As we saw in the last video, this is the space where we build our animation by adding backdrops and sprites. Now, click on the Choose a Backdrop button to add your backdrop to the stage. Let's pick Rosie's house. These are all the default backdrops in Scratch, all shown in one place. At the top of the page, you can see all the filters that let us sort the backdrops, like fantasy, music, sports, outdoor space, and more. You can also type the name of a backdrop to find it. For example, if you type school, you'll see the school backdrop. Now, click on the Outdoors filter and scroll down to select the school backdrop. We'll use this as Rosie's house. Next, click Choose a Sprite to add Rosie to the stage. Here's a list of all the sprites we can add, characters and objects. At the top, there are filters for categories like animals, people, fantasy creatures, music, and more. You can also search for a sprite by name. For example, typing ballerina will find the ballerina sprite. Click on the people category and choose ballerina as Rosie's character. Okay, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button so you never miss our new videos. But let's keep going. First, we'll rename the ballerina to Rosie. From this panel, you can also change Rosie's size. Numbers smaller than 100 make her smaller, like 50. And 100 is her normal size. Bigger numbers, like 200, make her really big. We'll go with 130. These are the start and end buttons for our animation. To make our sprite do something, we need to add code blocks here. Without code, nothing happens. Basically, the sprite you see up here needs code in this space so it knows what to do. The code blocks are color coded by type. Each color does something different. Click on the Looks category. The first block here is Say for Seconds, which shows a speech bubble over the sprite. Let's drag it onto the code area. It has two parts, the text we want to show and how long it stays above the sprite. Click on it to see what happens. Change the text and set the time to 3 seconds. Click it again. Now, we'll add another block to show a second line of text. I'm Rosie. Click this one too. Each block works by itself. To make them run one after the other, we need to attach them together. Now, click the code blocks and you'll see both lines appear in order. If you accidentally add a code block to screen, just drag it back to the block palette to remove it from the code area. Next, let's add another block. And this is my house. And another one for the next line. Next time, I will show you my room. But I put this block in the wrong place on purpose. It's supposed to be last. To fix it, we just drag it out and attach it to the end. This is how you can edit your code. Let's test it again. Everything works perfectly. The last Say block doesn't have a timer. That's the difference. It stays on the screen until you hit the stop button. Like this. Bye for now, we'll stay up until I press stop. We attach this at the end of the code stack. To make the green flag work, we need to add another code block at the top of stack. Go to Code, then to Events category, and drag When green flag clicked block to the top of your code stack. Now the green flag works. Go full screen, click the green flag, and the animation runs perfectly. In the next video, Rosie will show us her room. We'll also learn how to change the backdrop of our animation. Let's follow along with the next animation together. Good luck.